The space carrier exits the silent expanse of warp and settles into the majestic orbit of Earth, where the blue planet shines with a fragile peace. Below them, the atmosphere glows with an ethereal light, hiding the scars of past wars and the growing storm of the coming conflict. Inside the bridge, the hum of advanced machinery fills the air as scientists scramble to analyze the incredible data harvested from the first relic found on Elysia.
The data we are receiving from the stellar core is nothing short of miraculous, as its energy output continues to increase every single hour without any sign of instability. This is not simply a power source for a machine, but a living engine that seems to be responding directly to the emotional states of Ren and Ira. We are witnessing the birth of a new era of technology, one that merges human spirit with ancient alien architecture.
Standing here in the hangar, I can feel Genesis changing, as if the machine itself is breathing and waiting for the next command. Those golden lines flowing across the white armor weren't there before we found the first relic, and they seem to pulse in time with my own heartbeat. It is both terrifying and exhilarating to know that we are no longer just pilots, but something much more integrated with this ancient power.
Stellar core synchronization is now complete, and the primary combat efficiency has been increased by 27% across all offensive and defensive subsystems. Mission priority has been updated by the internal logic of the relic, and 3 additional signatures have been detected across the galaxy. We must prepare for the next phase of the resonance, as the vessel is now ready for deep space navigation.
Ren, we have only found one relic, and already the weight of the universe feels like it is resting on our shoulders. The power we felt on Elysia was just a glimpse of what is to come, and I fear what might happen if we cannot control this evolution. We must stay focused and trust one another, because the bond between us is the only thing keeping Genesis stable in these high-output states. Suddenly, a holographic transmission erupts in the center of the bridge, flickering with the static of a deep-sea signal from the hidden Klaxosaur kingdom. The Klaxosaur king appears, his ancient features cast in shadows, his eyes glowing with a wisdom that spans millions of years of survival. He speaks of a place that has been erased from modern maps, a region of space known only as the Crimson Void.
The Crimson Void is not merely a nebula or a collection of space dust, but a cosmic prison forged in the fires of the First Great War. Millions of years ago, the second relic was sealed there to ensure that Verm could never harness its destructive potential for their own twisted ends. No one has entered those swirling red clouds and returned to tell the tale, for the void consumes both matter and soul alike.
If it is a prison, then what is it guarding inside that temple? And why is the signal appearing now after all these eons of silence? We cannot simply stand by and watch while VIRM searches for a way to break the seal and claim that power for themselves. If the second relic is calling to us, then we have no choice but to answer that call, regardless of the danger it poses.
Far across the galaxy, the Crimson Void stretches across thousands of kilometers, a terrifying expanse of red lightning and swirling obsidian clouds. At its very center floats a massive crystal temple, wrapped in enormous chains of glowing energy that hum with the power of a dying star. Deep within that temple, a heartbeat echoes through the silent halls, and a pair of golden eyes slowly opens to the darkness.
The scouts report that every drone we send into the nebula is instantly vaporized by the localized reality distortions of the Crimson Void. However, we do not need to enter the prison ourselves when the successors are already on their way to do the heavy lifting for us. We will let them break the seal, and then we shall step from the shadows to take everything they have worked for.
The quantum warp drive is primed, and the destination coordinates for the Crimson Void have been locked into the navigation computer. This mission will be far more dangerous than anything you faced on Elysia, and I must insist that you retreat the moment things go wrong. We cannot afford to lose Genesis, or the two of you to the mysteries of an ancient prison cell.
With a thunderous roar of engines, the space carrier ignites its thrusters and tears a hole in the fabric of space-time to enter the warp corridor. Stars stretch into long streams of brilliant light as the ship hurtles toward the unknown at speeds that defy conventional physics. But as they travel through the tunnel, the walls of reality begin to shake and groan under a massive external pressure.
Critical warning to all decks. The warp corridor integrity has dropped to 12% and continues to collapse due to an outside interference. A massive energy signature is approaching from the void between dimensions, and it is tearing the fabric of our tunnel apart. All pilots are ordered to their stations immediately as we prepare for an emergency exit into uncontrolled space.
What on earth is that thing, and how can it reach into the warp corridor itself with such incredible physical force? I see a hand, a massive crimson hand made of light and shadow, literally ripping the tunnel open like it was made of paper. We're falling out of warp era. Hold on to the controls and don't let the synchronization slip for even a second.
You who carry the first relic and the hopes of a broken world, you must prove that you are truly worthy of the power you seek to wield. The path to the second relic is paved with the trials of the spirit, and only those with pure resolve may pass through these gates. State your purpose, successors, before the darkness of this void consumes everything you hold dear. The mysterious golden figure stands tall amidst the chaotic red lightning of the collapsing tunnel, its body composed of shining crystal and ancient armor plates. It carries no weapon, yet its presence alone creates a field of stability that stops the carrier from being torn apart. The Guardian's eyes remain fixed on Genesis, waiting for a response that will determine the fate of everyone on board.
We aren't here to steal the power of the relics for our own gain, or to rule over others with their strength. We are searching for a way to stop the VIRM and protect the future of our home, and we will do whatever it takes to succeed. If you are the sentinel of this place, then you must see that our intentions are for the survival of all life.
Words are easily spoken by those who have not yet felt the true weight of sacrifice or the crushing burden of ultimate power. Only through actions can the truth of your heart be revealed to the universe, and so the trial of the Crimson Void begins here and now. If you fail to meet this challenge, you shall go no farther, and your journey ends in this forgotten corner of space.
The engines have been completely neutralized by an unknown energy field, and our weapon systems are failing to draw power from the main reactor. Genesis is the only unit still active because of its connection to the stellar core, which means you are on your own out there. Ren, Aira, you must face this Guardian and prove our worth, or we will all be lost to the void.
Genesis launches from the carrier with a burst of quantum energy, its wings spreading wide as it enters the arena of the collapsing warp. The Guardian moves with a grace that defies its massive size, closing the distance in a fraction of a second to strike with its golden spear. The first collision creates a shockwave that ripples through the very fabric of space, sending colors of every spectrum flying in all directions.
I can't land a single hit on this thing, as it seems to know exactly where I am going to move before I even think of it. It's like fighting a ghost that is made of solid light, and every time I swing the Nova Blade, it is already waiting to parry. We have to find a way to break its rhythm, Aira, or we're going to be drained of all our energy before we even get close.
You fight with the desire to win, and that is precisely why you cannot overcome a foe that has no ego and no fear. A true protector does not fight for the sake of victory, but for the sake of those who stand behind them in the shadow of danger. You must look beyond your own survival if you wish to unlock the true potential of the first relic you carry.
I understand now, Ren. We've been so focused on the enemy that we've forgotten the reason why we are pilots in the first place.
we're strongest when we protect each other and trust in the bond that connects our souls through the FRANXX system. Let's stop trying to win and start trying to understand the heart of our partner, just like they did in the old stories.
Pilot emotions have reached a state of perfect synchronization, and the stellar core resonance is now increasing beyond known safety limits to 170%. New combat protocols are being written in real time as the machine adapts to the heightened emotional output of the pilots. Genesis is entering a state of total harmony, and all systems are now operating at peak performance.
Genesis's eyes shine with a brilliant light that rivals the stars, and its movements become fluid and unpredictable as it dances around the Guardian's strikes. No longer a clunky machine, it moves like a living extension of the pilot's will, parrying the golden spear with effortless precision. The Guardian stops its assault, a small smile appearing on its face as it recognizes the change in its opponents. Now you begin to understand the true nature of the power you have inherited, but the trial of the soul is far from over. Just as you find your balance, the shadow of the true enemy arrives to test the strength of your newfound resolve. Look behind you, successors, for the darkness you seek to stop has already found its way into this sacred space. A violent crimson explosion erupts behind the carrier as a black warp portal rips open, allowing dozens of VIRM warships to spill into the nebula. At the front of the fleet stands a new commander, his 6 mechanical wings glowing with a malevolent red light that seems to suck the color from the surrounding space. This is General Zareth, and he has come to claim the relic for the VIRM Empire.
So the trial has already begun, and the Guardian is busy entertaining children while the fate of the universe hangs in the balance. I have no patience for ancient games or tests of worthiness, for power belongs only to those who have the strength to seize it. Move aside, Sentinel, or I shall erase you and your precious successors from the history of this galaxy.
Leave this place, creature of shadow, for this trial belongs only to those who carry the light of the first civilization. You are a parasite that seeks to consume what it cannot create, and I will not allow you to set foot inside the temple of the second relic. Ren, Era, protect your ship while I deal with this intruder, and keep the gate secure.
They're targeting the carrier while the Guardian is distracted by Zareth. We have to intercept those fighters before they reach the bridge. I won't let them destroy our home or take the lives of our friends while we are standing right here. Genesis, give us everything you've got. It's time to show them the true power of the stellar core.
New combat function has been unlocked. Stellar Burst is now available for deployment in high-density combat zones. Energy is being gathered at the palms of the unit, and the targeting system has locked on to all hostile signatures within a 5-kilometer radius. Permission to engage is requested from the primary pilots to initiate the destructive sequence.
Do it now, Ren, before they can launch their missiles at the Professor and the rest of the crew. We have to clear a path so the Guardian can finish its duel and we can enter the temple to claim the second piece of the puzzle. We are the shield that protects our people, and we will not break today or ever. A massive wave of blue and golden energy erupts from Genesis, sweeping across the space like a celestial tide that vaporizes everything in its path. The VIRM fighters are caught in the blast, their hulls dissolving into digital dust as the sheer force of the relic's power overwhelms their shields. The area around the carrier is cleared in an instant, leaving only the wreckage of the enemy fleet.
Impressive for a pair of primitives who have only just learned how to crawl in the footsteps of their ancestors. But you are fighting against the inevitable end of all things, and your small victories will only lead to a more painful defeat in the end. I am the commander of the Crimson Legion, and I have inherited the strength of Titan Omega himself.
My strength is fading as the darkness of this void begins to seep into my core, for I was never meant to hold back an army of this size. Successors, You must enter the temple now, while the gates are still open and the chains are momentarily weakened by the conflict. The second relic awaits you, but the final trial inside will be the hardest thing you have ever faced.
We're going in, but we promise to come back for you and the professor once we've secured the relic's power. Don't give up yet, because we need your guidance to navigate the path that lies ahead of us. Hold the line for just a little longer, and we will show you that your faith in us was not misplaced.
Inside the temple, the air is thick with the scent of ancient ozone and the hum of thousands of floating crystals that light the way. The architecture is a blend of organic stone and impossible geometry, with murals that depict a war that happened before the stars were even born. At the very center of the hall, a crimson crystal floats above an altar, guarded by two shadows that look exactly like the pilot's.
To claim the heart of the void, you must first conquer the darkness that lives within your own hearts and face the truths you hide from the world. We are your fears, your doubts, and the parts of you that believe you are not worthy of the future you are fighting for. If you cannot defeat us, then you are not fit to lead the world into the next age.
I see my own fear of being left alone, the same fear that Hiro and 02 must have felt when they left us behind to save the planet. But those fears don't define who we are, and they don't have the power to stop us from moving forward together. We accept our shadows, but we will not let them control our destiny or the destiny of the people we love.
We are not the mistakes of our past or the fears of our future. We are the choices we make right now in this moment. We choose to fight, we choose to love, and we choose to protect each other until the very end of time. Mere versions of us are nothing compared to the bond we forged through blood, sweat, and tears.
The mirror versions shatter into a million pieces of light as Ren and Era's hearts achieve total clarity and acceptance of their mission. The crimson crystal descends from the altar and merges with the chest of Genesis, unlocking a new level of power that turns the robot into a beacon of hope. Outside, the temple begins to glow with an intense light that pushes the VIRM fleet back into the darkness.
This is not the end, successors, but merely the beginning of the end for your world and everything you hold dear. You may have claimed the second relic, but there are others hidden in the dark, and we will find them before you ever get the chance. Enjoy your small victory, for the next time we meet, I will personally tear the heart out of your machine.
They've done it. The energy levels are off the charts, and the Crimson Void is beginning to stabilize into a safe zone for our fleet. We have secured the second piece of the puzzle, but the war is only going to get more intense from here on out. We must prepare for the journey to the third relic, for the Verm will not stay quiet for long.
As the carrier prepares to leave the nebula, the ancient guardian stands at the gate, its form slowly dissolving back into the light of the temple. It watches as Genesis flies back to the ship, knowing that the future of the galaxy is in good hands for the first time in millions of years. But in the deep shadows of space, a new threat is already beginning to stir, far more ancient than even the Verm.